Hello everybody, this is Toys R Us, and for this special figure showcase and review, we're going to be looking at the 1988 Decepticon Firecon Flamefeather. So quite a basic figure, but quite a lot of information regarding him, his Japanese release, his G2 release, and some other information again regarding this particular figure. We're going to start off straight away with just looking at the robot mode. And I've got to say before we start, I had one of these as a child, and I know that they are incredibly basic, but I loved it. I mean, the robot mode is literally just the head that's on there. The arms you can't do anything with, they just fold out for transformation, and the legs is pretty much the same, to be honest. You don't really do anything with them, it's just for transformation. So as I say, it's as basic as it comes. Things to be aware of is corrosion in the screws. I've got a bit of sun fade on there. I'm sure you can see the difference between that arm and that arm, and of course the gimmick that unfortunately neither of mine actually work. So this is probably one of the main reasons why I loved it. They were known as firecons, and there was 3 of these for the Decepticons, and there was 3 Autobots known as sparkabots, whereas in Japan it was slightly different. They were all called Sparkadash, and they had different names. But funnily enough, this particular version, this particular figure, shall we say, although they changed his name to Sizzle, not to be confused with the Autobot Sizzle, they kept his deco exactly the same. So what I mean by that is, although he was called Sizzle, he was exactly the same colours as Flamefeather, whereas obviously that's the Sizzle we know. But in Japan, he wasn't called Sizzle, and he had a different deco. And the same for Cindersaw. That's how we knew Cindersaw. But of course, in Japan, they had a different deco as well. For more information on these, you like to check out the Japanese exclusives playlist on this channel, because there really is loads to go through with all them. So exactly the same deco, would have been different packaging though. I know this isn't one of their boxes, but they would have come packaged like the Sparkabots did, or the Sparkadash, in a little box like this, so you could safely put them back in as and when you wanted to. Right, so the transformation, I'm sort of going to do it, and all you've got to basically do is fold up the tail and then fold the legs down, and indeed fold the head over and bring the arms out. I'm not going to fully do it, because what I'm going to do is show you how you would use him in his alternate mode, and it's brilliant. So you'd fold the legs up like so, and you just whiz them like this. But unfortunately, my sparking gimmick doesn't work. It's a bit like an old lighter with the flint, etc. So I believe they can be repaired, but I obviously haven't bothered. If you want to keep him in his alternate mode to display though, bring the legs down, keep the wings up, and you can move the arms. Ironically enough, there's more articulation in the alternate mode, because you can move both legs and both arms. Things to be aware of, as you can see there, that's obviously been used way too much, so they've scratched all the paint off him doing the flame gimmick, and indeed the sticker there. I know it's not too bad, but if that's missing, it just looks really bland and boring. Right, I think that's pretty much all there is to say about him. There was a G2 version of him with the same name, but of course he had the garish G2 colours to him. And this guy doesn't work either. As you can hear, it's pretty much broke there. So we've got lovely translucent plastic, a different emblem there. It's still Decepticons, but that's the G2 emblem, and some actual stickers on the wing as well. So that was obviously in the Generation 2 continuity. It may have been a European exclusive, now I've said that, but I can't fully remember. Finally, let's have a look at one still packaged. So we've got the lovely artwork there of him. The stickers and the little sheet is underneath. And then on the back, you've got the transformation process, which again was what I just showed you. Very simple. Now, on the back, we've got the artwork there that, again, in Japan is known as the Super God Master Force artwork. And you can find out more about that, again, on the different videos on this channel. There's his tech spec if you want to read it. But overall, as you can see, nice and basic, but a good bit of fun for a figure. And I suppose that's all that really matters, because they are toys. And that's indeed why initially, at first, as a child, I purchased them, but now it's obviously for very different reasons. Anyway, hope you enjoyed looking at him. Hope you found some things about him interesting. Let me know in the comments. Take care.